So that's small thing I'm asking you to do. Small.
Because unfortunately, I might not even remember.
That's the problem. Missing myself, and that's why I'm trying to not to forget. Because okay, we're going live now. Okay, let me move like this. Huh? Okay, you're going to go where? Okay. Okay. All right. We are live. Let me see. Where are we? Copy link. Okay. So I'm talking about Paned and what's going on.
Wait, have you advertised your clothes?
I haven't yet. You
Tade,
see?
which one is they're talking about Paned?
I don't
We're
understand.
all
Why is
talking
it
about Paned.
what is with the panel?
I don't
After what?
understand. Paned was a global story. It's not that you fished it from
Advertise your
anywhere.
products by saying
I
panel,
don't understand. I'm talking about Paned.
After
Paned
what?
is for everybody. Every story is for everybody. I beg, don't annoy me. Oh.
Do advertisements.
Wait, why people angry with me? What did I do wrong?
And you know that this is something that even started recording. It will now be part of our recording.
So why are you shouting
Shall
at
they
me?
end it and start again, please?
I can't do that. Why are you
End this because it's going to be part of the recording on TV.
It's already live.
End it.
It's already live.
It's already live. I don't know what this guy is saying.
No, but you're not live on Instagram.
I am already live on Instagram.
Jeez.
When you will be
Because I
viewed
don't
by
understand
someone
this Paned.
that doesn't have a polo.
Paned, that the Ned is a global issue. It's not your story. Everybody will discuss it. Paned. Did he pay you?
Okay. Producer said we should move on. Can I advertise? So Black Friday deals have begun. This is brand new, just dropped on the website. Let me tell you what I love about this.
Give me this one, $5.
Apart from the fact that it's really fitted, I love the colors. It comes in so many vibrant colors. So this is like a bright bubble pink. Let me show you. For people who think my stomach is flat, can you see my stomach?
Whatever.
See? Can you even see? But the thing holds me tight. Holds. Can you see how tight it is? Holds. And this is a small because it has to be fitted. Anyway, so the sales are ongoing. It comes in blue, bright red. Why are you put me in the middle now? Oh shit. Why didn't you tell me you were going to wear yours today? So I put yours too for sale. This can't know.
Tolu, you're a cat.
See,
I don't even know how.
I don't even yours now. There's a sales room for you now.
Tolu, you're a sheep.
Nice and snug and.
But Sade, how did you identify what she was wearing when she joined?
I don't understand. She doesn't even know her product.
Do you understand?
I was looking. I was thinking of Paned.
Now, I seriously suspect that between you and Kemi Olunolo, you are mad because I don't know with this obsession of Paned that we are in today.
Kemi Olunolo wrote that they kidnapped one of our celebrity and her child, but they don't want it to go viral.
I saw it. She's projecting her lonely now. As a woman is, there's people like you that click on it that I have a problem with. Okay. So click the link. Black Friday sales are on. Buy 3, get 2 free. Imagine, buy 3 bodysuits, get 2 absolutely free, and you choose the 2 you want. So go check out all our bodysuits. Pick 5. Put 5 in your.
Plus size girls are not left behind. Plus size girls are not left behind. Thank you.
Nope, they're not left behind.
Thank you. If you want to look snatched, if you don't want Ozempic, but you want that Ozempic-like body, there you go. Let's go.
Thank you for allowing me for almost 10 minutes.
Let's do this. Let's do this, fam.
It's coming. Instagram or link to the website.
Because I was trying to use the other link, but that link is not working. So
link to the website, please. Let me see. What's the link to the website? Someone's asking for the link for the website. I thought it just you
Do we
click
have
the
a phone to
QR
scan?
code. Click
You
the
can
QR
scan the
code, but I
scan,
can get
scan,
it.
scan. Not click, scan.
Sorry, scan the scan the QR code. But I can also I'm gonna just click it from here and send it on Instagram. Okay. All right. Can we move on?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, singles memo
Wait,
with
so
Kumbi.
sorry. Oh.
What happened?
Okay.
What happened?
Nothing.
Okay.
Why are people laughing?
As
Like,
in this
what?
week is going to be a mess when I'm editing. All right. Paned! Finally paned. Why does this keep on saying that host has beaten me? Are you missing me? Love, lust, or lifestyle when romance comes to retirement time? Well, have you guys seen the latest video of one young girl that was filming herself with Ned at an event
Mm.
like 2 days ago?
No, I
Very
didn't.
youngish looking girl, like probably like
Did she dress like she was a northerner? I think I
yes.
saw something. Yeah, I
So
saw
maybe
something like
he's
that.
moved on and another wife in the
Like,
way.
seriously? Is that how to just move
I'm
on?
sure it's AI generated.
Shade,
Until
it's your
No,
story.
it wasn't.
Begin. Paned, start.
It
until you see
wasn't
something.
AI generated. I mean, there's nothing to again, I'm not looking for gossip. This is just we saw this play out. This played out from the beginning when they got together, when they got married, people were part of they gave us this information. We didn't ask for it. Everything I know about these people, they told me. I did not ask them. And all now, again, we know because they told us again that there's fire on the mountain with their relationship or whatever it is. And for people who don't know, Regina is, I think, Ned Okonkwo's, Abby, what's his name?
Woko.
Sorry. Eh?
Woko.
Nwoko, sorry. Ned Nwoko. I think his, who is
Ned
Ned?
Woko's wife. Regina is Ned Woko's wife.
What
Ned
number is
married
she?
her. Ned
Eh?
married
Regina is
her.
ready.
Ned married her when he was 59. She was 17 or 18. And he had previously, I think, 4 wives before he married Regina. So, backstory. Yeah.
She was 19.
The important thing here, the question here is, as a woman, is it wrong to marry someone that is 3 times older your age? Is this something that should be encouraged or not? Because at the end of the day, that is what this is about. Because now what we're saying is that what she has done, she used it to set a trend for Nigerian women who started tapping into that blessing. And now people are now saying, well, this is where it ends. But we know that it's not everyone's story that would end up like this. So that this is the question I'm posing to everybody now. Me personally, I don't see anything wrong with marrying someone 3 times my age. If it's for the bag, I love my baby girl lifestyle. If I find a man that is 5 times my age, grandfather, I will marry. But I will not be a fourth. I want to just be one first wife. I don't want to be second, third, fourth. If it's widowed, it's different. Now,
Do you want the
I'm
beating too?
asking,
The
this is my own
alleged
opinion.
do you
My
want
own,
the alleged beating?
it's not all older men that beats. Do you get?
Wait. So Tolu, I just want to understand. You said you don't mind. Okay, so you don't mind someone who's older than but you don't want to do the fourth, third wife kind of thing. So like
No,
an older guy in his 70s who maybe was previously married and is
exactly.
looking for a nice young
My
girl in
point
her
is that there's
40s.
nothing wrong with it. Buying an older girl. It's just
Yes,
like
but
complementarity.
you're in your 40s. When you were 18, would you marry someone who was close to
If
his
I could go
70s?
back in time, I would do it safe. Like
Okay.
I will not be suffering. I would have done
Yes.
it.
So you're suffering in Canada?
No, I'm not saying I'm
No, I'm
suffering.
asking, you're suffering?
I'm saying that my life would probably have been more elevated. More elevated, to the next level.
Oh, good Lord.
I know
Being a
there's this phrase
Nigerian.
that everybody keeps on bringing up because of her. Oh, I rather cry in a Bugatti. Yeah, I rather cry in a Bugatti than than laugh in Kekemara. That's it, man. So I can do it. I can actually do it, but it's just that Kevin, I, will- I will not want to be a second wife. That's all. But yes, that's my own
Mm.
opinion.
I mean, I think that we should still focus on the crux of this conversation. She married an older man. There was alleged domestic violence, and I don't think that was the first time. This is because she had frustration from the video. I don't know if you producer,
Yeah,
where's the video?
yeah,
But from the video, you could tell that domestic violence, it wasn't one time. It's been
yes,
reoccurring.
but this domestic violence that she alleges,
Hmm.
Ned was not even in the video, so it's not from
So,
him. The
so
domestic
yes.
violence is not from him. She's
So,
saying he pays people to beat her up. Is that what it is? I'm trying to
so
understand.
no, Shade. That video we all watched or we all saw, yes, he wasn't in the video. It does not mean that she wasn't lashing out as a result of something that had happened previously. We don't
Yes,
know for
we
a
can only
fact.
base this conversation based on the video
What
that
we
was
see.
released.
No. I hear you, but that's why I said allegedly, right? She allegedly said domestic violence was involved. It could have happened yesterday. Today she had an epiphany and then she lashes out and she's angry, she's crying and she says she's tired. It could have happened last week and she lashes out. So I'm not saying that in truth there was domestic violence, but I'm just saying that she's alleged that there was one. And so that is part of the crux of this conversation, because you and I know that with domestic violence, it doesn't just happen one time. It reoccurs. There's a reoccurrence. And when people have had enough, some people eventually lash out.
Okay, now I want to ask a question. Why have the other wives never complained about domestic? At least he has another wife that's even in social media.
That's not a valid.
It's not valid.
please.
It's not valid. Let me tell you why, Tolu. Not everybody who is a victim of domestic violence finds it within themselves to be to speak up or speak out.
I agree, but let me tell you what I want to, because I went to her brother. Her brother had a whole write up about this whole thing. He's alleging domestic violence by Ned's people. I'm yet to see where they're accusing Ned himself.
But there was a write up. He also said but there was a write up this same brother had where he said Ned needs to, if he will Ned, something about Ned physically touching his sister. There's a write up. He said it. He said Ned hit his sister. So what are we talking about here? Are you telling me that, okay, so you people want to absolve Daddy Ned of any of all of this?
Sorry, it's not Daddy Ned, it's Ned.
Absorb. Okay, let me ask you a question.
I'm trying to get the meat of this conversation.
Imagine a couple, they are arguing, right? One of the couple is intoxicated. Okay, let's imagine the woman is intoxicated and she's screaming and she's shouting and she's breaking things and she's throwing things and she's hitting, and in the process of hitting, the guy hits back. Is that domestic violence?
Tolu, what you are talking about is speculative. That's speculative.
No, I'm even asking a question. I'm not even talking about their own. I'm just asking a question.
From a legal perspective, Nelly. From a legal perspective,
is that domestic violence?
See, well, it depends. If you are going to file a divorce proceeding, yeah, that qualifies as domestic violence from the woman to the man, right?
From the woman
See,
to the
okay,
man,
so
don't forget I said the woman is one.
Hold on.
She hits the man. No.
I don't want us to lose the crux of the conversation, because this matter is so emotional and easily other things can just get muddled up. Domestic violence, it can be one-sided. Even if you say the woman started it, the moment the man too responds with violence, it's also domestic violence. Exactly. It's not bottled down to who started it or who responded. Violence is violence, regardless of where it started, right? But I want us to separate something. You see, the topic says love, loss, or lifestyle. Young people marry other young people too out of lust too now.
Yes.
I'm trying to make us separate the man's age from what is going on. And to your question, Shade, there's somewhere I read the brother said Ned smashed the sister's head on the wall.
I read it as well.
The constant here is Ned. But for me, let's even go to the roots. You see, they married in 2019, April 2019. Ned was 58. He was just turning 58. She was 19. Right?
In 2019.
In 2019, she was 19.
What I read was she was 18. There's no way I saw 19. I saw 17 and 18 years old.
Before we came online, I checked. Anyway, 18 or 19, she's a teenager. She's old enough to marry, but that's not even the point I'm trying to make. Ned Nwoko is a senator, is a lawyer, billionaire. She is, well, I mean, for the purpose of this conversation, what I saw online was 19. You see, man and woman, whichever way you slice it, people generally want to eat their cake and have it, right? 19-year-old girl, what exactly does she know about getting married to somebody who's old enough to be her father? And you, as a man, at that age, getting married to a girl of 19, what do you think you are going to get? Do you understand? What do you think you're going to get? So at that age, that is still her formative age as a young girl. Some of her mates are still living with her parents. They are still living with their parents. This is the time where she's supposed to enjoy her youth, being a spinster. This is when she's supposed to. But some people will make an argument to say, back in the days, people get married at 18, 19. But we also have to remember that times have changed. So there's a whole lot of, it's a cocktail of questions and answers. But I would like to isolate this matter because I don't want to get into the bandwagon to say that every time a young girl marries an older man, or a man who's old enough to be the father, it goes south. Odumegwu Ojukwu married Bianca. Ojukwu was Bianca's father's friend. He went to the Christian name ceremony of Bianca, right? He married the girl. The marriage was superb. In fact, the marriage caused friction between Ned and Bianca's father. She was beauty queen. Yeah. The father, Ojuku's father and Bianca's father were very, very close friends. I mean, he was there on her birthday when she was given birth to. So it caused a friction, but over time, he came around. And in their lifetime, in his lifetime, the marriage was something to emulate. So we have examples everywhere, right? So that's why I'm saying if we're not careful, a whole lot of things can get into the mix. But let's just focus on this thing. And there's a lot we don't know, actually, about this matter. But I don't want us to use one brush to paint every marriage to say that every time a young girl marries an older person, it always goes south. So we have to look at what kind of girl did he marry? Where was she coming from? What's her upbringing? What kind of family is she from? And Tolu was saying the other wives have not complained, but the other wives don't have the same platform that Regina has. They may have complained, but they don't have the voice. I'm not saying Ned is a wife beater or is a violent man, but I'm just saying if we are going to discuss it, let's slice it both ways.
Right, it makes sense. Mr. T, I think he has hung. Okay, I mean, there's something you said, Nelly, which I appreciate, and which is, let's not take away. Let's look at where is Regina herself coming from. And see, I admit that I personally I'm not for the school of thought of marrying someone who is 3 times, 4 times your age. I don't understand it. You don't have much in common.
There's going to be a lot of disparity in
There's
lifestyle.
too much disparity. You have nothing to. The only thing is it's purely transactional. That's the honest truth.
At that age, the man wants a wife that will take care of him at home.
Exactly. So he's either looking for a maid, he's looking for a carer. You are looking for a retirement plan, so that it's purely transactional. But
absolutely.
But there's something that Nelly said I think is very important: is where was she coming from? We have to realize that, first of all, let's not disregard the fact that her mother played a huge part, even though she says she didn't. Her mother played a huge part in this direction that she's in right now. Ned Nwoko married Regina without the father's permission. So those are the kind of things that should tell you the kind of home she comes from. Let's just be honest. On a Nigerian perspective, if you marry a woman without the father's permission, that family is not a strong family.
Yeah, you can assume that it's a dysfunctional family, but that's rebuttable though. But you can just say it's dysfunctional because from an African setting, Nigerian specific. In fact, you as a man who wants to marry the girl must do everything possible to seek the consent and blessing of the father if he's alive.
Exactly. So based on that, I think that is part of what has come to play in this situation. Because like you mentioned it, Bianca married Ojukwu. Until date, she's bearing his name. She's carrying his she's
Name.
carrying his legacy. We don't know what went right or wrong relationship, but what we know is that Bianca was extremely happy with that situation.
Absolutely.
I say this to say, now again, this is not me putting any blame game. There's no blame game here. I say this to say, Regina's background, I don't think that I don't think Ned understood what it was to marry an 18-year-old, first of all, who was in the media eye, I don't think I'm giving Ned the responsibility. Forget anything else. I think that he should have known better because he has how many wives? 5 wives. He should have known better on how to manage a polygamous situation. When you
Shadi,
choose
can I
to
ask
be
you a
in
question?
polygamy,
That video we watched, is that Ned's house?
it's Ned's house.
What kind
Yes.
of chaotic house is that?
What kind of what?
It looks chaotic.
Yeah, because there are people there. So I think
I don't
Ned
know
has
how those
different
people.
people.
I mean, being a billionaire, I've been in houses of billionaires. There seems to be some level of serenity. I mean, it just looks like that house. Everybody just
Is
find
he a
their way to
billionaire?
it.
But also,
Okay.
let's not
Well,
forget,
that's
he
what
has
they
Let,
say.
let,
I don't
he
know.
has 5
let me
wives.
say something real quick, and this is my
Mr.
own
T, how far
opinion,
now?
right? Anybody else can dislodge or not agree, but I think that Regina is a product of a failed system, a failed home, and a failed family. Okay, and I think that I wouldn't even apportion any sort of blame to Regina in all of this. I would look at her parents, her mother, and her father, and say they failed. And yes, people said, "Oh, her father was not in the picture. Maybe the dynamics of the home." Even as a father, if you're not even in the picture, maybe for the sake of divorce or separation, and you're not at the point where your children start to grow in their teenage years, it is your duty to make sure that you create a sort of relationship with these children. However way you want to do it, you must find a way. Because I imagine when I was 18 or 19, I wasn't thinking about being a fifth wife or a fourth wife to a 59-year-old man
Even a
who
first
was,
wife.
do you understand? Even first wife who was old enough to be
You
my
are probably
father's
still thinking
age
about
mate.
what course you're going to do in university,
You're
masters.
thinking about
Yeah.
in fact, you're even thinking about fine boys that you are pursuing up and
You're
down. Do
thinking
you
about the
understand?
party that's going
So
to happen at
that is
11:45.
do you understand? So if and I know that she has an acting career that I don't think was ever even eminent, because I know
So
they
no,
say
see,
she was an
so
actress or something.
that acting career is just a media hype. I'm trying to figure out when she got married. They said he married a Nollywood star. At that age, I was trying to, I tried
Exactly.
to dig what
And then there was
movie,
another
how.
video, and then
It's just a media hype.
to bring us back, there was another video I saw where her mother was saying Regina insisted on marrying Ned. A mother, a 17, 18-year-old daughter says, I insist on marrying Ned. And then so
A
you are
58-year-old man.
cautioning, you understand? So you want to throw all the blame on Regina. So like I said, personally, even if the father was not in the picture, it was his duty as a father to be in the picture, whether the mother wanted it or not. I have a friend who she didn't want her ex-husband to have any access to the kids. Once the kids start 14, 15, from 13, this kid they were insisting on having a relationship with their father because their father had always been in the picture. He did not hide. You know what I mean? So if Regina's father, his claim is, oh, okay, I wasn't with their mother, or maybe allegedly, I didn't have a relationship, so I couldn't have been involved, even though I didn't want Regina. You didn't do more as a father, as far as I'm concerned. The
We don't
mother
even know the
failed,
story about their
has decided,
family. So
because you and I know, like Nelly mentioned earlier, the formative years of the child is from the family. When there's a breakdown in the formative years of a child in a family, some of these children look to the kind of friends they make as they grow, right? Now, those kids, as they grow, you have friends outside of your family who also kind of shape your values and your morals and your integrity. So on the home front, they failed Regina. On the external front, she was also failed, because I don't understand if her peers who were focused on, I'm going to school, I'm trying to get a degree, or I'm learning a skill. Not everybody has to go to school. I'm learning a skill, I'm trying to better myself, I want to be more productive in life. If she did not have those kind of friends who shaped her life or shaped her vision, then both, like I said, internally and externally, they failed Regina.
She
So
failed
it's
herself
very
too.
She failed herself. What do we say they failed Regina? This is an
Listen, Shade,
18-year-old.
Don't we have
Regina, no.
Dupe,
I need you guys to
don't we have
understand that
18-year-old
Regina,
girls? See,
I'm not going
we
to
have
make
18-year-old
Regina
girls
call.
now.
I hear you. Regina, I'm not going to make her culpable because I'm telling you that what you don't know. What you
No.
don't know, you
That's
don't know.
Dupe, that's a stretch.
You know what?
Dupe, I can tell you right now.
Please let
That's a stretch.
let Mr. T talk. He hasn't spoken
Wait,
at all.
let
Mr.
me
T,
finish now.
Mr. T, just
That's
did
why I
the
said,
laugh.
in my opinion, I started by saying this is my opinion. Okay, I feel like what you do not, if you don't have what to give, you cannot give it. Regina did not have what to give from her home front, and even externally, even outside the home front, she had nothing to offer. So that's it. It's basic.
But she's Sabi smoke online. I beg. I think I hear what.
Mr. T, go ahead. I beg.
We not hear you.
We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I mean, Nigeria has happened to your speaker.
Is that better?
Yeah, but there's
It's echoing. Feedback
an echo.
behind.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, better now.
But it's echoing. There's a feedback from behind, from the space.
Maybe from the wall or something.
Is it better now?
It's not.
It is.
Tell we
this
can't even hear
better?
you again.
She muted herself.
I muted myself because
Is this better?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that.
We'll
So quick
manage
one.
it.
Let me not put too much into this. Let's not shift blame from where Popsy Momsy gave the daughter out in a very, very poor, distasteful manner. Let's focus on how Ned ran his house, whereby the scenario,
Absolutely.
the situation that happened could have been avoided in the first place. He's got multiple wives. Whatever might have happened within those wives, nobody knew about it. You bring a younger girl into your house, you're going to set boundaries. She's going to understand what needs to be done in order to keep your brand the right way. I'm not going to say he didn't do that because I don't know if that conversation was heard, but he didn't put his house in the right way it's supposed to be. Now the young girl steps out and does all these things. He's seen it. He's been meant to rein her back, say, listen, as much as we're on Instagram or whatever together, we're having a good time. There are some things that we should avoid. Why? My name is at stake here more than your name in the first place. That's the fact. You can't beat that. He's the one that's out there that people know. And if he puts himself in a situation whereby it's going to be ridiculed, it's on him. It's that simple. Whether he's marrying a younger girl or not, it doesn't matter. Going back to what my fellow gentleman here mentioned, Bianca and Ochuku. I mean, even if Bianca were born now and in this era, Bianca was always civilized. She put herself in the right way she's supposed to, either whether the father trained her well or not, but she still acted the way she was supposed to. We can apportion blame, but I'm going to put most of the blame on Ned. Why? Because he let his guard down in the situation whereby he could have protected his wife, which is Regina. He could have also protected his household to avoid all these scandalous situations that's happened. Now, I saw somewhere whereby they said he bought a new car for her. I mean, you're encouraging bad behavior after all this kind of stuff that you've gone through. There's a line you have to draw, whether you like it or not. You come in as a third, fourth, fifth, whatever wife you have, you're going to have to learn from the others that were ahead of you, how things are done, in order to have a sanctimonial home. Peace.
Mr. T, let me ask you a question. I mean, I'm curious, but I would like to, get your own take on it. Why do you think Ned is 60 something now, right? 64.
64.
Why do you think a 64-year-old man, lawyer, senator, billionaire sees the need to be trending on Instagram every time?
He doesn't. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't. He's got no business doing that.
He's so juvenile and delinquent in his behavior. I don't know why he's doing that.
Yes, he doesn't, but this is where we are. If he's going to get on it, he also has to set standards, parameters as how to be on it. Do we agree on that?
Do you agree with me? Yeah, I agree with you. I just wanted to be sure that we agree on the fact that he's also enabling these behaviors.
Oh yes.
That's
I
what
mean, that's at the end of the day. he gave room for it. If he had set the rules, you have to set rules. Bringing someone into your house that you know you're basically her grandfather, knowing how she came into your life in the space of 3 weeks, you're getting married to her. You know she's inexperienced. So what are you doing? Are you holding her hand to guide
I want to
her
just
along
ask,
life?
do you think Ned got carried away?
Oh yes, he did. You don't need
Oh,
to finish the question.
absolutely,
You don't need
absolutely.
to finish that. He did. Baba hasn't been in
Because
this situation before, so he sees
But
it
it's
as fun.
interesting how you have expectations of a Ned that has 4 or 5 wives. You're
no,
expecting
no, no, no,
him
no,
to
no, no, no,
set
no, no, Dupe,
boundaries.
Dupe, no, no,
You're
no, Dupe, don't go
expecting
there,
him
Dupe,
Because
with
he
Dupe,
has
4 or
no,
5
no, no, Dupe, don't go
wives.
there,
yes.
Dupe,
How you are having
Dupe,
expectations of
no, no,
somebody
no, 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 no,
who
no, no,
has
no.
not. Come on, come on,
Dupe, see,
come on.
I have friends. See, I have friends in Akure, in Ondo, in Owo, in Lagos. Their fathers have more than 5 wives. Some are even traditional rulers. You know what's happening with the Olagbegi in Owo? Multiple wives. So, and they run a very good home, right? Very, very good home. So it's not a question of the number of wives he has. Just like Mr. T said, he's the way he has run his home, right? Because now a lot of things are coming up. Like, why would this? After a couple of days, this happen? You're buying a car. What are you? What message are you trying to send? And I also saw a video where she was smoking with her brother in a video. Something must have given her that audacity, and that's why Mr. T is saying that if you run, you see, if you give somebody a kilometer, they will take 100. It's about how he ran his own. Something must have encouraged her to think she can have this public outlook and get away with it.
And going back to what you're saying, to be honest, and also falling back on what my friend Dupe has said, everybody has a big portion of blame to be given to them.
Absolutely.
But who is the captain of the ship? Ned. There are standards to
Whether we like it or
everything.
not, Ned is 59. Well, he was 59 when they got married. She was
He's
18
64
when
now.
It's not exactly. It's not
Whether we like
excuse.
it or not, he
It's not
was the
excuse.
adult in the relationship.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's why like I said, I put more blame on him because for me, I'm just like, sir, she's your baby, she's like your baby sister that
She
you bring
has
to your house.
Ned has kids that are her age.
Exactly.
Shadi,
And
let
then
me
apart
add
from that,
something.
you have experience doing this polygamy. So how are you fumbling it if you have experience in it?
Shadi, let me fall back to where Dupe started talking about how her upbringing was. Maybe the father wasn't in the picture. To be honest, we don't know the exact dynamics.
Yeah, we don't.
But based on what we see, let's go off what we see. We know that the father was cut off from all communication when it came to the daughter being given out in marriage. Yes?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's in the public here.
Who
Yes.
provided that situation? The mother. We know that she created that situation. Now, after the daughter was married, let's just say, if for the case of argument's sake, the father was taken along, the father was never a deadbeat from what we've heard. But if the father were taken along, culturally, traditionally, what would have happened was Ned would have had to sit with the father and with the elders, and they would have had a conversation that whether they are ready or not to give their daughter out. If they all agree, if the daughter at any point in time misbehaves, they can always reference the father. Why? Because most likely he would have to rein in the daughter back in
Which
as
is
the
a
head of
cultural
the,
thing for Igbo
which
people.
is a
Being an
listen.
Igbo man myself,
Ned is
that's
from
cultural.
my constituency, right? He's from my constituency. There's a way things are done whereby you need to fall back on your extended family. That always helps. Now, whether Ned is beating his daughter or not, we don't know. His wife or not, we don't know. But the situation that's presented itself that
You said it
he's
right, his
let,
daughter.
well, in all honesty, because he's let the
Yeah, that's
situation get out of hand. Because I was
yeah,
having this conversation earlier with Shadi yesterday that Ned created a situation whereby she had a free reign to do whatever.
absolutely.
Whoever was coming to the house, whatever time she was having a good time at home, whoever surrounded her, people. That's where the problem more or less started from.
We don't
If you
even know
also
if
didn't
she has
understand,
created animosity amongst the other wives.
you
Again,
understand that.
these are things that Ned himself was complaining about.
He can't
But you see,
complain. That's what Mr. T
you
is
can't
saying.
complain
Ned,
about something
Ned
that you
cannot
didn't
complain.
control. You didn't set boundaries around. You can't now complain to us because he said part of the thing because he now started to allege that she is going through what's it called? She is a drug
Drug
addict
face,
and da da
yeah.
da. And he started talking about how she has parties at night. She always did. But you brought her into your house. Did Regina bring her whole house to Abuja to live with you? You brought her into your house.
If I was Ned, I would be. If I was Ned, I would be embarrassed to make those kind of lame excuses.
Exactly.
Because if you look at grown-up fathers, like when my sister was growing up, she became a teenager. Her teen ages were the years my father was most concerned, because that's when teenagers want to live the life, they want to go out, they want to party. Now, and that's the formative age, just to reiterate what I said earlier on. Now, that is the age bracket where you choose to go and marry that girl. And like you said, Mr. T, and I agree with you. Bianca's example is because Bianca too is coming from a well set up family, right? Affluent family. I mean, the father was very close friends to Ojukwu, so that can tell you the status of the family she came from. And that's why I also made the reference to Ned going to marry this young, beautiful girl, but he maybe deliberately closed his eye to the kind of family she's coming from, their background, their moral standards, and all that. I mean, beauty queen, you would think that Bianca will be all over the place, but the moment she married to Ojukwu, the man, there were boundaries. She became a role model. Till today, you can't fault her.
Okay.
Honestly, I agree with all the people that we have identified here as they could have done better for Regina. And that's why I said there's no way I can fault Regina or blame her in any shape, form, or size.
No. Dupe, that's a stretch. That's a
No.
stretch. Because you are absorbing.
And
don't forget that. See, why do you think that they say in some countries the voting age is 17, 18,
yes.
contractual year is 18?
Yes.
That is because at that age, the system trusts you to make informed decisions.
Yes.
If they're not teach you for us, you go teach yourself now.
Yes, I like
challenge
how you
yourself.
Yes, I like how you have
could
said
have been education and all that.
I like how you have pointed out in some countries, but in our country where we all came from, you realize that 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds still live with their parents, right?
But that's not an excuse. You can't exonerate them.
But no, it's not. But the environment, I'm saying that I feel like there was a lot of disservice that was done to Regina. And I'm not, listen, I'm not trying to say, oh, Regina shouldn't have done better or shouldn't have
Dupe, you are absorbing her. You are absorbing her completely. That's what you're doing.
I'm saying that, Nelly, the only reason why we are who we are today is because as a function of our family values and maybe the kind of friends that we surrounded ourselves with. I don't think Regina had any of that in her life.
No. I disagree with you. Somebody that they claim is a Nollywood star. That means she was already out there. So being a Nollywood person, you would have mixed with the good, the bad, and the ugly. You should have the mental capacity at that age. Somebody that can read the script and interpret it. You should be able to decipher.
Wait, can we agree that her Nollywood experience was Z-rated?
No, I'm just saying that she was exposed enough to know right from wrong.
Acting with. She didn't even act with a Yule.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I think I tend to agree with Dupe because she's at my age. And
what exactly do you agree with?
I agree with the fact that it is the environment that she was in that has molded her into what she has become today.
So Regina has no blame in all this matter?
I'm not saying she doesn't have blame, but I'm saying that what she has picked from her environment, whatever she's doing now, she's acting her age.
Can I ask you a question? The things she picked, were they the only things she could have picked?
That is what she said.
I'm not going to agree. I'm not going to agree this one. Which kind of talk about? No.
That they don't know this from bad. They don't know
what these people they talk.
Let's be honest with
ourselves. At 19,
we've all gone through.
Everybody that has that moral compass.
All of us.
If your parents don't teach you moral, you can pick some on the streets.
Yeah, we've gone through 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
What are you talking about?
Are you saying all of us mirror the same thing Regina actually is mirroring right now?
Funny, when did you go through it? When is she going through it? These are different times.
So you should you should understand one thing. The fact that you have an option for choice, you cannot be absolved of whatever that you have.
What if she didn't know what the choice is?
Did she make the
what if she was in a situation where her mother said, make sure you secure that bag, make sure you do everything?
How do you know? How does she know?
Don't speculate. Don't speculate.
Are you hearing what Mr. Is saying?
Let's not speculate. You have
we are
to
assuming that she was mentally mature to even know what was good from bad.
Yes, because there are factors on ground to make us make that assumption.
What factors that she was
What factors? Tell me, Nelly, tell me.
Is not
Okay,
with
so
actress a factor?
wait. One of the factors is that the choice she made was not an Hobson's choice, in the sense that that was not the only choice she could have made. There were alternatives. One. Secondly, hold on now. Let me finish.
Yes.
Secondly, there are many young people, not only in Nigeria but across the globe, who were in more dire situation than her, but have turned out to be better. Please, somebody just won a Grand Slam at the age of 16. So let's not even go there. We can
I'll
discuss
give
the
you an
proportion.
example, Nelly.
Wait.
Mhm.
We can discuss the proportion of blame to be apportioned to her, but to say you want to totally exonerate her, lie, I never agree that one.
When we're in university, a lot of us, all of us, right? When we're in uni and we were, we're going through uni. Shade knows, Tolu knows. You were in Unilag as well, so I'm using Unilag as a reference
Everybody here went to university now. This
Yes,
guy,
now.
I didn't know, Tolu knows.
University of Lagos, so I don't know about any other
Okay.
university, but I'm talking about University of Lagos. At the time, I don't know what it is like now, but during our own time, we had a lot of girls who had aristos who would take them to London. It wasn't aristo. This thing I'm saying, Mr. T, it's not aristo of I'll take you to VI to go and eat food though.
I'll go to
Aristo.
11:45.
No. Aristo had levels during our time in University of Lagos. That's why I'm making reference to Unilag. And girls will travel, they had passports, even before we even imagined that we had ID card. These girls had international passports. They will go abroad. They will come back for a weekend, Shade. And Tolu, you people know, you can attest to this from Unilag. You know what we didn't, some of us didn't do? We didn't do Aristo. And not because we couldn't have done Aristo, but because we could determine that that was not the road or the path we wanted to
You are
travel
coming
on.
to the point Mr. T made.
So I'm coming to this point to say we could determine. Did you think that Regina could actually determine that this was not a road she wanted to travel
Absolutely.
on?
See. Absolutely. You see, absolutely. Let me even tell you, you see, when you say there's a principle in law, the defense of illiteracy, is a shield, it's not a sword. Do you understand? So that he was a young girl is not something that she will use now to cry like a victim.
Dupe is not saying young. I'm even saying naive. Forget
No,
young.
you can't even see. She was 19. That's what she was a teenager.
Nelly, you can't blame. Say,
Can I ask you a question? Wait.
She didn't know.
What was her level of education once she get married?
Tolu,
What was her
Nelly,
level of education?
can I chip in here for a second?
Our president gets research
Tolu,
before you talk about somebody we don't enter university. What are you talking about?
Tolu. So we need to understand something, that at the age of 19, 20, 21, you have the conscious choice to be able to determine whether to go left or right.
What?
She was in Hollywood, or is it what, Nollywood? She could have stepped out of that. She decided to stay in it. Why? Because she saw the glitterazzi and all that. That was a conscious choice.
She liked the glam.
She liked it. That life is where she wanted to go. So by the time she met Ned, as we were told,
It
in
fueled
3
it.
weeks they got married. Like, this is the life I want. She was aware what she wanted at that point in time. So are you trying to remove the goodies that she got from it and not push
But
her
Tony, are you
That's the
towards
thing
saying
now.
that?
She wants to eat
Tony,
her
wait.
cake and have it. So somebody that
Tony,
knows
wait.
that she wants to remain in
Tony, wait. Are
Nollywood.
you saying that she
She
could
wants to
actually
remain in
make the
Nollywood. She's
judgment?
smart enough to
Nelly,
know that.
wait.
Yes.
You and Tony, are you trying to say that, like you said, she made that choice, she went that way, she liked the glitz and the glam, she went that way. Ned, she liked it, she went. But are you saying that consciously she could make that judgment and determine that this was bad or it was good? Is that what you were saying?
Yes.
Why are we saying she couldn't have made that kind of decision? I don't understand. Why?
She could.
I don't
You know
think
why?
so.
Good.
Dupe, you know why? Dupe, let me add to what
Are
you
you
know
joking?
why?
See,
I don't
Regina
think so.
Daniel was looking for
Dupe,
easy life.
Dupe,
I don't
Tolu, you
think
said
I
it
can hear you,
yourself.
Tony. I can
So
hear
let's
you.
hear what Tony is saying.
It's just like when you get to a stop sign and you want to
Okay.
cross the road, you know what the outcome of that situation is going to be like.
Yes.
Yes,
And
now.
if you don't look left or right.
Yes.
So at the age she was, and she sees Ned at 59, there is no aesthetics to say I admire Ned physically for me.
There's
Why
none.
not?
None.
Why not? Wait,
Hold on,
why
No,
not?
Let me
see.
Let me finish. She's a
At
young girl.
18, 19,
Because
she's looking at top stomach, six packs.
What if
she's been
that is what she
so
sees as
no,
attractive?
hold on now. Hold on.
Hold on
Let's
now,
be
let's
honest
not
with ourselves.
be this
Let's be
thing.
honest with ourselves. Ned is not the side that she's going to say she wants to see, and this is the man I want. Let's be honest. She's worked with younger guys that have finesse. But like I said, it's the glitterati that she's seen, and it also goes back what the mother has put in her head to go down that path. Because if the mother did not allow for that to happen, we probably shouldn't be talking about this
So
right
you're
See,
saying
I'm tempted. I'm
so you're
tempted to say.
affecting our
See.
Influence.
I'm tempted to say
Influence.
that marriage was sort of like our escape route out of
Out of
poverty.
poverty.
So
Simple.
whose fault is it?
So
Is
what
it
Tony
her
is saying
fault?
is that
She was not poor,
what
Tolu. She was not
what
poor.
Tony is
I've met
saying is
people
that
who are poor. They did not
what
go and
Tony
marry
I'm
men
not
older
what
than them. She was not
Tolu,
poor.
what Tony is saying is that she knew what she was doing.
She
See,
knew.
she could have gotten away with it, but if it
I don't
backfired,
agree.
she should not be exonerated.
I do
Yes.
So
not
she
agree.
made a decision. Now it has backfired. It may not have backfired. It may not have actually backfired.
We
But
can all disagree to agree.
Exactly.
unfortunately for her, but see the funny thing, I can't even say with all sense of responsibility that it has backfired because Ned now has bought her a new car. He's
I
going
heard she
to
has
wait.
moved
See,
back. I
he's
heard
going to
she's
get what?
back.
Oh yes, now.
I heard she's back, yeah.
And you know what? He's
But
going to get what?
her mother pawned her to Ned. They pawned her like
And
go
I heard a story that
into the
somebody
world.
pimped, something. I mean, 19-year-old girl. 19-year-old girl. There's no attraction between her and a
See,
58-year-old
like they
man.
say,
There's
man and woman
no.
matter. Don't put your mouth inside.
I'm telling you,
Because
Yeah,
when
but
you
because
make
see
your mouth
now,
see, but the
people
reason
are
we're
leaving you.
discussing this, the reason we're discussing is that there will be there will be,
spent
of course, maybe they don't have the same platform, but there will be many Ned and Regina out there, and there will also be many young people who all this
they
all
look
this
at a Regina like a role model.
all these men with millions,
Well,
rich men,
Money.
are out there
Money.
chasing, hunting, right? There will be somebody's daughter there where somebody's daughter out there who is 18, 19, and somebody who's richer than her father is trying to talk to her. The father doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. These kind of things can divide family.
it's
So
going to
for the
keep
benefit
happening.
of those kind of people, I mean, this kind of conversation will help them to make an
Yeah.
informed decision. It can go south, it can go, it can go left, it can go right.
You've only heard of the bad ones that have happened. The truth is that
Yes, a lot of
majority
them,
of these things
like
happen.
before you came,
The
I
question
mean,
is how is it how are they dealing with it in house? That's the question.
exactly.
How are they dealing with it in house? Let's be honest. Let's not even talk about traditional rulers that marry young girls at this age, and because of how tradition is, they are basically
If you look
not
at
meant to
tradition,
take it.
Regina is even
Right?
old. Some marry 14, 15.
You understand? But in all honesty, it's the question about when the house you built, you've allowed someone come into it. You've got laws, you've got rules. There's a way you want the house set up so that everybody's happy. Bottom line. Now, if you give room for some things, you got to accept that when you give room for that, there are repercussions to it. Ned should have known
Let
this.
me ask you people.
Do you know that? Do
So
you know that
Tolu,
for people
wait,
out there,
wait,
people can
Nelly.
make an assumption that now that it's gone, Dupe, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Okay,
This kind
continue.
of thing is done now, buying her an expensive car. People can make an assumption that maybe after all, what she's saying is true. You know, he's trying to
My
placate
question
her
is
now.
really
He's
that
trying to, I mean, as a man,
if
64, she's 25. He's twice older than her. If she's wrong, she's wrong. It should be like what Tony is saying. He should be able to rein her in. Instead, he's enabling her by buying her. So she's benefiting from her bad behavior. But
my question
we
is,
don't even know what
will
Ned is trying to hide. We don't even know the full gist. There may be things that
okay? So my
has
question
not
is,
come to
will
light.
Regina? Are you guys going to give her grace if there's a second cry for help after going back to
Grace
Ned
of what?
collecting this
Grace of
car?
what, really?
Like, if there's a second cry for help, will you give her
You
grace
lay on your
when it
bed, you
happens?
sleep on your bed the way you make it. I don't know how to babysit adults. She has 2 kids, she's 25.
Cry for help. What do you mean?
Who
Cry
cry?
for help.
There's a movie
Like
like
she
that.
comes
So
out again to complain about this, alleged, domestic violence, blah blah blah, and she's, what has happened initially.
Do you know that Nollywood movie, Cry for Help? What's the name of this girl in Kiru Sivanos that used to cry a lot? Cry for help.
Why can't she?
See,
She can cry. She can cry as
you
her new
can't cry
car
wolf.
now.
You can't cry
She'll
wolf
go and
all
cry
the
to her
time.
parents.
You
Let her
can't
go and
cry
cry
wolf
to her
all the
family
time.
members.
A time will come whereby when you cry, people are not going to believe you because they say, "Oh, what does it benefit us? You cry, your bad behavior rewards you."
And
Nobody's
you
going
go
to cry
back.
Yes.
any longer.
We're not
I mean,
beneficiaries of your lagis.
you're being rewarded for bad behavior. So why are you calling us? We don't benefit from it. Let's move on. And that's the result. And Ned, if
It
Ned
is what
decides
it
to marry
is.
another, if Ned decides to marry another girl after Regina,
He will surely marry. See,
it's
mark today's
possible.
date. He will surely
He
marry.
could he can afford to marry another woman after Regina.
Shebi,
That's 19. And
Regina is
start that
25
cycle
now.
again. Yeah,
Give it another 3 years. She's 28. Maybe she has
it's
one more kid.
possible.
This guy will go for another
It's
younger
possible.
person.
That's the truth. He doesn't need to date he just needs to propose that I want you as my wife.
It's just
And the
like
fact that
it's just
there are
like
women lining up to get into that situation.
it's
So
just
I
like
mean,
you are married to a polygamist. The man married first wife, he married second, married third, married fourth. You are the fifth one. What gives you the right to think you own him exclusively?
yeah, that you're the
What gives you
master
that right
that
of exclusivity?
nobody's supposed to come after you. That's the thing.
No.
Because even within that circle, Ned takes her out to public places. Is it like when she's in public places with Ned? She doesn't see how people act. She doesn't understand the situation where she finds herself in, that she's probably never thought she was going to be there before. Doesn't she
You
think
see,
that she needs to
we need to end
put
this
herself?
conversation.
I
We've
mean,
carried it for too long. We usually try and do 3 topics every hour. We did one
no.
topic.
Wow.
One.
But like Tom said, maybe she thinks, hey, that's her marriage. God has given her a big breakthrough.
I mean, good on
You
her.
know,
Let her enjoy
Jupe
what's in that
disappeared.
life.
Yeah, I don't know what her camera is black. I don't know why her camera is black.
No,
But there's
no.
something wrong with it's black. It's not. We can't see you. Anyway,
Well,
we
I
have
wish
to end
them
it
well.
now because we spent 1 hour. It's 1 hour. We tried to. We do 3 topics, and we couldn't do 3 topics.
It might be the start of extending your hours to 2 hours.
No, no,
Then
no,
you
no,
get
no,
more
no, no,
people.
no,
I'm
no,
just
no,
saying,
no.
more
It's too
viewerships, more
late.
time.
People have things to do. See you people next week, I beg. Thank you so much, Mr. T and Obina. Nelly, I don't know which one do you want. You want to put Obina there. Oh my goodness. Please, please, please.
Which name do you use in Canada, Nelly? Obina or
What?
Nelly? Which name do you use in Canada?
Nelly now.
Is Nelly a
Nelly
real name?
now.
Is it a real name?
Yes, now what do you mean?
What do you mean?
What
Is
do you
it a
mean?
real
You
name?
think I'm a very dark man? That's what is a real name.
I'll see you guys later. Man. Have a great weekend, okay?
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Mr.
Subscribe
T.
to our channel, everyone. Please scan the QR code. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. All right. I need to go now. Bye
Oh yeah,
bye.
stop the.
Oh my God. All right. Done.